Why is everybody looking for their soulmate? Finding true love. It's something most of us spend our life chasing. But what if everything we think we knew about soulmates was completely backwards? You know that fascinating because recent psychology studies show that nearly 73% of the people say they're looking for their soulmate. Most of us can't even define what that means. Think about it for a minute. Well, here's a story that's really going to challenge your romantic notions that we've all grown up with. So there's a woman who found her soulmate at the age of 40. But there's a twist. He was absolutely nothing like what she thought she wanted. That reminds me of the research showing that people who marry their ideal type actually have higher divorce rates than those who don't. That's exactly what makes this so interesting. She was constantly chasing the bad boys, these rebellious types, literally begging them to treat her better. Please treat me better. Why are you so mean? I am lovable. I can become more lovable, so you treat me better. You know that, relationship experts. You know what they call this? The intensity mistake for intimacy. So there's intensity in the relationship, and this somehow is a turn on. This is actually a syndrome. So basically, like when drama and chaos feels like passion, but there's actually signs of an unhealthy attachment style, right? And studies show that patterns often stem from childhood trauma, which is exactly what happened in her case. She lost multiple family members, some to death, others to life circumstances. Some of them disowned her, abandoned her. And when you've experienced that much instability early on, stable love can actually feel boring. Well, that explains why she initially struggled with this man who checked off all the practical boxes. Great father, solid job, completely devoted to her. You see, she was a single mom of a 4-year-old. And she was also not just looking for her soulmate, but someone who would complete the family that was severed. And here's what's fascinating. Research shows that about 60% of people who experience significant childhood loss tend to seek out similar unstable relationships in adulthood. It's like our brains get wired to expect chaos. So, what made her break the pattern? Because that's really the extraordinary part of this story. She had this moment of radical self awareness, something that psychologists call a pattern interruption. And in neurolinguistic programming, there is a technique called pattern interruption, which I do with my clients all the time. She literally had to sit herself down and say, look, you got a 4-year-old now. Your old patterns aren't working. That kind of honest self-reflection is very rare. Recent studies show that about 15% of people actually manage to break destructive relationship patterns without professional intervention. And what's even more remarkable is her honesty about the ongoing work involved. Even after 20 years together, she admits it's not always easy for her. She's still working through things while he's completely content. You know what's interesting? That actually aligns with attachment theory research showing that secure partners often help anxious partners develop more secure attachment styles over time. Now keep listening to this because you're going to be surprised at who this person is that I'm speaking of. So, remember that during COVID, when many relationships were falling apart, with divorce rates spiking by 34% in some areas, her relationship remained rock solid. It really emphasized how true love can weather any storm. That stability during the crisis is such a powerful indicator. It reminds me of the Harvard longitudinal study on happiness, showing that the quality of our relationship at age 50 is a better predictor of physical health than even cholesterol levels are. Imagine that. And here's what really challenges our cultural narrative. She talks about having to get over herself. In society that's all about following your passion and never settling, that's pretty countercultural, right? Well, especially when you consider that 88% of romantic movies and novels promote this idea of instant chemistry and passionate love as the ideal. This is called mass manipulation. And this was done with a study. It was called the Stanford experiment. Look it up. Mass manipulation is a real thing, right? But relationship experts are increasingly finding that slow burn relationships, the ones that are based on friendship and growth, tend to last longer and report higher satisfaction rates over time. That sounds boring? Not really, because it teaches you the unconventional wisdom of unconditional love. It turns this conventional wisdom on its head, doesn't it? And what's particularly powerful about this story is how she used a relationship as a practice to ground herself with more personal growth. She talks about having to work through her ego, having to learn what real love and compassion look like. That's such a different perspective from the you complete me narrative we usually hear, especially in movies. Exactly. And research shows that couples who view their relationship as a growth opportunity rather than just a source of happiness are 40% more likely to stay together long term. So, in the end, what looks like settling for less might actually be settling for more. More stability, more growth, more real love. And that's really the key insight here, isn't it? Sometimes the best love story isn't the one you imagine for yourself, it's the one that helps you become your best self, even if it comes at an unexpected or in an unexpected package. That's such a powerful message for anyone struggling, looking for love. And maybe that's the real secret of finding true love. It's completely different from what we imagined, but exactly what we need. Now, who is this person? Me, Holly Hall. Yes. Did you guess that already? Enjoy. Namaste.